One message for you from your aunt. She will bust both of you in the head. Can y'all hear me?
Not rocket science,
I think you, like me, have a face for radio.
Can y'all hear me?
We gonna play with the players we got. Next man up.
That's why it sucks.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
This kind of unprofessionalism does not need to be tolerated. I mean it.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
What the hell is going on here? Just all hang up.
Another episode of the BS Podcast.
Hang on. There's all kinds of noise in my ear now.
Oh, jeez.
We need a little bit more professionalism.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Dawg in the studio here at the BS Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the BS Podcast. We are here for your live reaction. That's right. Live reaction is Alabama takes down the Georgia Bulldogs 24-21 in heart-shaking fashion, if I do say so myself. So we're going to bring you the press conference live as we
over the Georgia Bulldogs.
As we normally do.
On the Region's fifth quarter show, and
we will we'll hang out here for Coach DeBoer's presser, and really looking forward to it. Interested in what he's going to say to the team. I know he's definitely going to. I presume that he's going to be very stoic, but if you, like I, saw him as time ticked off and it set in that he beat Georgia at Georgia with this football team, and you saw the joy on that man's face, you had to get fired up, because I was, as they say on the West Coast, I was stoked. It was pretty awesome. So really looking forward to it. Make sure that you comment below. Props to Brandon Phillips getting in on the first comment. RTR, Brandon Phillips, way to get it done, buddy. We're going to be here for Coach DeBoer's live press conference, and we should see it, coming up any time here. I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. This should be it, but we will. Live events. This is Alabama, Georgia. We had a little of this action the last time, but we'll see what we can figure out. Really impressive today. It's surprising to me that the Crimson Tide front load the game with 24 points. They do not score another touchdown, and it looks like Georgia is going to be able to run the football at will. And the next thing you know, the Crimson Tide shuts them down. They make some plays. Hey, look, we all got a free gift, okay? So Ryan Williams dropped a pass. Our guy, we all know that after Ryan Williams dropped that pass, we were extremely frustrated, but Georgia had a letdown as well. We welcome Austin Smash, the dash. Oh, somebody got her voice back. Nice.
Yeah, that's it's showing itself right now for sure.
Yeah,
she's gonna lose it again for in the morning.
Yeah, probably. Plus, there are so many.
Well, Austin, we're here, and your first thoughts as we wait on Coach DeBoer's press conference to come in. I know that you guys had some challenges when it came to watching the game. You're on the road. What are your thoughts after this 24-21 defeat of the Georgia Bulldogs?
We saw what mattered. And that was Alabama convert that third down. I said either line up and run it or put the ball in Ty's hand and let him win the game. And that's what he did. All heart. All heart. It's impressive. But you know what? I hate to be one of those fans, but we should have beat them by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I
told Amber in the car, I said, if you told me Alabama's defense would win them the game in the second half, I wouldn't have believed you. I mean, Alabama scored 0 points. Going into the end of that ball game, and it didn't matter because the defense was stout.
And
So
that's something that we had concerns about for sure.
I'm telling you, I mean, they ran the ball a lot. They were committed to it, but the things that we messed up on those long runs is all fixable. I mean, it was guys being in the wrong position. But when it mattered, they made plays. So
I got
kudos
to
to
tell
those
you,
guys. Kudos to Tim Keenan. He helped us out in the middle of the defensive line. I mean, there was no really interior run game for Georgia.
well, they sure
Everything.
found lanes to run because they had over 230 yards rushing.
I agree. But I mean, a lot of that was safeties and cornerbacks not fitting the run. So, we've got stuff to fix. We got Diego Pavia next week. But you know what? I'm going to enjoy this one tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at, dude. I started thinking about undefeated Vanderbilt, and I said, you know what? No, I'm going to savor this because we as fans, after that Florida State debacle, we were choking, dude. We were looking at hopefully we'll win
Life
4
support.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I couldn't be any happier at this point in the season. Now, look, we, just to be Debbie Downer a little bit, I guess, at this point of the season last year, we beat Georgia, and we thought, it was going to mean something, and then we went down. But this team does not look in any form or fashion like that team from last year. They've made their own brand to go on the road in a very hostile environment with a 23-game winning streak
33
on the line. 33, excuse me, 33. We're going to get some audio here. That's right. I'm doing more than, a couple things at one time, but
yeah,
we're going to hear now from Coach DeBoer. Very excited to hear from him. Congratulations, Coach DeBoer. Congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Congratulations to that wall right there for some reason.
Yep, you gotta get it all in focus. I don't know what's going on with this with our brand here. Why is it not giving me what I want? It's in blue. Unacceptable.
Oh my gosh. What are we doing here?
I don't know, but I need to get that solved. I guess now is not the time.
Hey, I just want to say, me and Amber were at a wedding all day today. She was doing photography, and I was trying to help her out. And we left there right as the game was starting. And I changed into this shirt, which is now 3-0, just like Kalen DeBoer's black sweatshirt. This shirt is 3-0 on the season. So
yeah, that has got to come up tonight because not only did the player say it, I guess one of his children said it too.
Yeah. Yeah, this 2009 shirt is I'm gonna keep rocking it until they lose.
That's what you got to do. Okay, here we go.
Maybe, possibly.
Yep, we're full throttle. All right, Coach.
While Coach gets settled, he will make an opening statement, and we'll take questions. We'll try and get as many questions as we can. Please leave your hands up, and I'll call on the question as we come. So, Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, you bet. Just a great team win for our guys. Credit to Georgia. They're a great team, and just proud of the way our guys came out and fought. You can't overstate like what our guys have just been doing as far as just every day trying to get better, and that's what it's about. They just were focused and knew they're gonna have to play 4 quarters, and it took every second of it. And so again, finding a way to win first half, a lot of conversions, especially on third down, got off the field, and then turned into a fist fight in the second half. And defense standing in there, getting a big 4th down stop. That was big, but it's another step in the right direction for our team. I know that they're already talking. They're not done with their improvement. They've really been focusing on that. They've been focusing on us. That's, I think, the key is not getting caught up in anything else other than what we can control. And I'm super proud of them for that.
Thanks, Coach. Start far left with Alex.
Yeah, it's just, it's a mindset going in that you're, especially against a team like this. You're going to get punches thrown at you. You're going to get some, and we got some tonight. And it's just, what's your response going to be? And our response was to punch back and punch back harder. And I really felt like, even when it isn't perfect execution, just felt like there was an attitude and energy that our guys had. And, there's going to be no regrets when we walk off the football field because we gave it everything we had.
Let's go Charlie, then Nick, front row.
Coach, can you kind of walk us through that sweet pass tape?
That went in during fall camp. It was going really well. And then we had one that didn't go well. And so it got shelved for a little bit, but brought it back out. And he made a catch earlier in the week that gave us a lot of confidence. Middle of practice, sweaty hands, not a great throw, pulled it right off the ground. So pretty impressive seeing a big guy like that do what he did. And he's been pretty consistent on it. And so he's done his part, and our guys are excited for him. And it's who wants to tackle that guy, right? Who wants to tackle him? And he's such a great athlete, and he's worked hard to continue to even improve that in other ways.
Nick?
Yeah, that final play call on that 3rd down, deciding to pass it instead of run. Walk me through kind of that discussion and how that played out, why you guys made that decision.
We want to play to win, and didn't want to give them a chance. So, they have over a minute probably to go, or right at a minute, maybe with the punt. And so, that gets hard, especially on the road. And, it's a pretty conservative play because you need 5 yards, and what are you going to do if you get 3? What are you going to do if you get 4? And so if we got out the back door clean with Jam, it was going to be a good play. And then you still got it in your quarterback's hands, and he can make a decision where you're at on the field. If you have to take a sack, you take a sack, keep the clock running, and then you go from there. But proud of the execution of the guys. We've had that one in for a while, a long time, even last year, and so just executing at the right time. I thought it was a great play call, great execution.
Question on the right side with Chase. Go ahead, Chase.
Yeah, Coach, pre-snap time when the place got noisy, was walking the tackles, walking the tight ends, and putting the call right in the ear hole instead of just yelling from the position.
That's right.
Was that pre-planned, and is that kind of an indicator of his poise?
Yeah, it takes a lot of work when you get in an environment like we had today. They can't hear them, and you got to make sure every word is heard, and the effort that he put forth today, the energy he just showed in the locker room, he's given everything he has. But yeah, we knew we were going to more than likely going to have to get right up there in their ear, tell them exactly what's going on with those protection checks, make sure everyone's on the same page. One guy blows an assignment or doesn't hear something correctly, now you got a guy in your lap when you're the quarterback.
Let's go to EG in the middle.
I think it's just I think there's a toughness that's being built. I don't think we're there yet. I think there's things that we can do better, but we talk about mental, physical, and emotional toughness that it was going to take. That was one of the first things we put on the keys to victory at the beginning of the week. We knew it was going to be when it came to turnovers and takeaways, that was going to be critical. And then executing in critical situations. And we did that. And, those 3 things right there, we've taken care of the football. We executed in critical times, got the 4th down stop, executed on 3rd down, got off the field, especially in the first half. We were good in the red zone offensively, 4 for 4, I think 3 touchdowns. And so, all those things, but there's a toughness that our guys are building on. And we still got a long ways to go, and they know that.
Colin, far right.
You mentioned that 4th down stop, but a team that struggles to stop the run and then ultimately got your loss and makes that stop. How big of a stand was that moment, and did it kind of turn I guess, things in your favor a little bit, you think? Or how big was that?
Yeah, no question. You just they do a great job in the run game. You knew that they were going to try to really hold the line of scrimmage both defensively and then control it offensively. And so they did a nice job. But you play every play as its own play. You play every game as its own game. There's nothing that carries over. There's nothing that carries over into that situation. So just do your job, be fundamental, play with great energy, and make things happen. We didn't sit back on our heels and just hope that, they didn't execute. We went out there and attacked it and made a play.
Far left, Katie.
You've talked after quarter saying about Ty needing to improve his decision making. Just what did you see from that him tonight, especially on third down?
Yeah, I think he's continued to do a really good job of keeping his eyes downfield, trusting his offensive line more and more in pass protection. And then, the guys are getting in the right spots at the right time. The repetitions that are happening in practice, just even the completion percentage and the execution in practice, you can see it continue to build. And so, he's ripping it, cutting it loose, and I'm proud of him because he's playing with some energy and some emotion. He's given some talks to the team that are pretty passionate, and he's all in, that's for sure.
Let's go to Jim on the right side.
There's nothing glamorous about a first down and 2-yard run or 3-yard run, but how important was it tonight?
Yeah. The at the end, all night long. Yeah, and we got to continue to get better in the run game. There's times when we had looks that we just should really take advantage of, and there's an execution piece to it. There was a toss play, and it's not always the offensive line. There's a toss play to the right that I just felt like numbers wise. I think Germ had the ball in his hands, and we just got to get everyone on the same page doing your job. But, there's some times inside too where, there are 2 high safeties, and we should be able to get more than what we had, not just 3 or 4. We should be able to get 7 or 8. And especially as the game goes along now in the last drive, that happened a little bit more, and so that's why you just stick with it. I think I saw 38 attempts or something like that as far as rushing attempts. That's a credit to Ryan Grubb, just continue to stay within, not getting greedy, not, just feeling it has to turn into an all out, passing game. So just proud of the continued fight that he had and what he brings out of the offensive line.
Let's go to John on the left side.
This is your third time being at Alabama. Then coming off a bye, you guys look really good in this game, especially to start. Maybe it's overly simplistic, but what does that extra week mean for you for game plan, game script, play calling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think first of all, we got some guys back that help. I think TK in the middle, we really needed him. I thought he played. I don't know if he's played great. I haven't really seen it that close, but he helped. He made a difference. Jam obviously makes a big difference, not just in the run game, but in the protection piece, just confidence in him. So you got your guys and they're healthier. And then you got a staff that does a great job putting a game plan together, and then you get more reps at it. And so, when you can make those plays look and the checks be on point through a few more days of practice, a few more reps, that's what you get because we got good football players out there.
All right, we got 2 more questions. Let's start with Steve and finish with Chris.
Coach, if you could walk me through your 4th down play. I saw you on the sideline saying go. Was that in particular just a field? Did the book tell you to go for it at that point?
Yeah, I mean, just we were a yard, and I'd like to think we can get that yard, and just, there's times last year where I wish I'd have gone for it a time or 2, just play aggressive, play to win, what we did there at the end of the game. And you got to be smart, you can't be reckless, but just, they squeezed the edge pretty good and caught us from behind. And so, thought we had good numbers to the front side with Ty keeping it, a lead blocker there. Didn't physically get the job done.
All right, let's finish with Chris on the right here.
Caleb, what stands out most about your football team from where you were coming out of the FSU game to where you guys are right now?
It started that they pretty much just got that edge to them, took everything that was out there and channeled the energy into us, being better and getting better. And, there's 2 things you can do when things are coming down on you a little bit. You can go back yourself in a corner, or you can fight. And these guys, have made up their minds they're going to fight. And The staff is doing the same thing. And so I think just that was where it started, but I think it's just continued now to continue to build. And we got to make sure we don't forget, what that chip on the shoulder was that kind of got this momentum going. And we've got to understand what it took mentally, physically, emotionally today to be able to sustain from start to finish, not just 30 minutes, it's 60 minutes. And so, that's been a word that we talked about going back to January. I've talked to you guys about it, sustaining it. Can we sustain the energy? Can we sustain the passion? And, not just, for the season, not for the game, but each play, and we sustained it. And at the very end, churning out those first downs with the offensive line. That's something we weren't doing in fall camp. That's not something we were doing at the beginning of the season, at the end of the game. Maybe we did at the beginning of the game, the first drive, Florida State, okay, worked at it, got it done, but we weren't doing that, in the second half like we did tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.
Players will be coming in here, y'all.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
All right. I wonder if the players are going to be coming to the booth or coming to the table.
That'd be nice.
That'd be a good little change of pace. I don't know if they're going to come in or if they're going to be sitting out there. So I think we'll just we'll hang tight for a minute. Yeah. We'll just we'll keep a watch right there. And wow, man, I got to tell you, that's not the same man that sat in front of the reporter group, in front of the column, the sports writers. Not the same guy on that night from FSU. Looks like they're going to go ahead and cut the feed, so we'll get to see some of that later. But for now, Austin, your instant reaction to the Crimson Tide.
Days like today and what we just listened to makes you go, okay, I think Greg Byrne got it right. This is the Kalen DeBoer that everybody has talked about before he came to Alabama. This is the guy who has won everywhere he's at. Now, it may look a little different because, we're having to kind of change, not change his personality, but trying to think how Jeremy Bernard said it. He making him a little uncomfortable in his coaching style, and him growing as the team grows. So it's impressive.
Yeah, I agree, and I would like to.
And I'm going to be honest. I doubted Alabama when they were up by 3 and kicked it back to Georgia. I told Amber very stupidly. I said we're going to fold right here. My words was we're going to fold like a cheap table. But but you know what? That feeling is how I felt after that Florida State game. When you get punched in the mouth, you've got to decide what you're going to do, and we hadn't seen them decide yet this year to throw a haymaker back and knock somebody out, and they did it. They did it to close it out. So,
yeah, and it reminds me of what Andy Frisella said. I heard it a couple months ago. I'll probably botch it right now because I don't remember it word for word, but he said people have the right not to believe in you when you don't present habits or you don't present a lifestyle that's believable.
Yeah.
And we ourselves, he says it much more articulate, what is the word?
Articulate.
Articulate. Yes. He says it in a much more articulate manner than the old Dawg did. But we didn't have a reason to trust Alabama as a fan base right now. And I think many that I'm associated with, I'll just speak for myself. I have wanted so badly to trust him because of what he stands for. And I go back to, the video that I keep playing over and over again. That's about embracing the moment and becoming what the moment needs. And I think Jeremy Bernard is correct. And as a coach, you have to challenge yourself to grow. You have to get uncomfortable. And, he has a particular personality, but, it's like what got you here may not get you or will not get you to the next level of where you need to go. And that doesn't mean everything, but you have to be the example to your program. You're the leader of the program. So,
Well,
I
and
thought
it's just one of those things. As long as you're living, you should be growing
that's right.
in
Because if you're
in
not,
everything. I mean, no matter where you're at, if you're stagnant, I mean, you're going backwards. So
yeah,
we've seen him take steps forward, and the team come along right beside him. So
yeah, and I've got to tell you, I wanted 3 more touchdowns on the board because it makes me more comfortable. But I think, once the guys take time to digest this particular win, they're going in, 3-1. They just beat number 5 in the country at home.
yeah,
And they've got a score to settle figuratively and realistically with Vanderbilt, because Vanderbilt embarrassed Alabama.
and
So
what excites me is we still haven't seen the ceiling for this team. We still
yeah,
haven't seen Alabama put all the pieces together. And I loved, like Ty said it tonight, when the offense got down, when the offense struggled, the defense held them up. So if we can put those guys on defense with what we're actually capable of on offense, watch out.
yeah. If we play a consistent 4-quarter total football game, and I got to tell you, hats off to Georgia. They
Yeah.
are they're a great football team. I
Yeah.
mean, that running back that they had tonight, I know y'all were driving, so you couldn't really watch him, but he had incredible speed. I mean, if he
he's a stud.
smelled the second level, that guy was gone.
He's
And
a
so
stud.
I love that our defense, man, they're just a different group after that embarrassment in Tallahassee, and definitely led by Bray Hubbard. But I got to tell you, Lawson tonight really impressed me with his
he
speed and his
stepped up.
physicality. Yeah,
He
most
stepped
definitely.
up. One thing I look at is, I mean, DeBoer said it was like a 15-round fight, and defensively, we'd have them gash us for 20 or 30 yards. Well, the next play we had a tackle in the backfield. So, I mean, it is what it is. With great players, you're going to give up great plays, but it's all about the next one. There's no rollover like a work vacation. There's no rollover plays. I mean, you gotta take the next one like that didn't just happen. And I mean that fourth down stop by LT Overton was just huge.
Yeah, I wrote it down. It was the
Huge.
epitome of a shoestring tackle, just enough to cause the guy to go down. And I mean, hey, they had a great fourth down stop before Georgia's touchdown.
Yeah,
and they had to do it all over again on.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like you like to think of it sometimes as like an umpire, which you got one guy calling balls and strikes at the plate, but it's like, okay, at least we know what your zone looks like. And then there are 2 other calls that just look like blatant pass interference against Alabama.
Yeah.
And it's like we could not get a call. And then I was just disgusted by the targeting call when 23 put his hat right where the football was and he got kicked out of the game.
And 2, his arms were extended. How can you throw yourself through the air when your arms are extended and you're coming towards the ball? I mean, that's been a thing, and I told Amber targeting is the most frustrating penalty right now because it's an interpretation. Everybody's view on targeting is different. Everybody's going to call it different. I mean, that's just like that 15-yard penalty that Georgia got on Alabama's last drive. Well, when he flung himself, guess what he did? He launched himself and hit somebody with the crown of his helmet.
He
So
sure did. I said the
by
same thing.
rule, I'm like, that's targeting. You
Yeah.
launched. You used the crown of your helmet. I didn't see James Smith launch himself towards the ball carrier. I mean, that was very frustrating. And we lost service when they were reviewing it. So we switched over to hear Chris Stewart on the radio, and he was saying first down. I was like, oh dang it, they must have called it. But I mean, we saw the review before that. But that's frustrating. But I will say Alabama didn't have a lot of penalties tonight. That was impressive. That's a key factor in the game. But I do have two questions, and I mean this may be a little nitpicky because Alabama won, but going for it on fourth down instead of kicking the field goal to tie it, that was a wild decision to me. And then punting it to Alabama with 5 minutes to go was a wild decision for me.
Yep, one of those could have been the difference in the game. And I just like the way I look at it, and Kirby Smart and Kalen DeBoer, as I've heard it said before, they'll forget more about football than I've ever known. But I look if I'm Kirby and I look at my offense, and let's say, we have fourth down and less than 5, even if it's, 4 yards, 0.9999, I'm running. I'm going for it because we have diced up this Alabama defense for over 200 yards rushing.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's my thought, but I don't know why he punted it. I think it was 4 down territory to me, and probably could have pushed the momentum forward.
I get you have 3 timeouts, but you wasted 2 of them. So, I mean, we don't have to worry about that. That's for Georgia fans to be frustrated about. I just thought it was interesting.
Well, I love going for the forward on fourth down, so I like that DeBoer does that. One of the plays we just were not prepared for whatsoever. Yeah, and it was very loud, and the crowd, that's their home field advantage. That's what happens when you get to play at home.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is that this, I think we are starting to see what this team saw in itself, and they came out on cruise mode and got embarrassed on week 1.
Yeah.
And so could end up, by the time we get done, to the end of the season, it could end up to be the best thing that could have happened to this football team, which is getting embarrassed because Bray Hubbard, I don't know if he's ever loafed before, but he did some loafing in that FSU game, and I ain't seen it again.
You know what was funny was I noticed one play that was almost identical to the play he loafed on against Florida State. And tonight, he helped his cornerback out and made the tackle out of bounds before he scored. And I was like, that is the exact same situation tonight. We saw his effort. And when you look at it, I mean, I hated that we had to kick a field goal on that drive, but Bray Hubbard's fumble and those 3 points is what won the game. So kudos to him.
Kudos to him. He definitely had some game-changing leadership there, and I can't say enough about the guy and the product that he's put on the field. He is a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah.
And he is looking for a target. And
they called his name a lot.
It doesn't seem like there's an off button for this dude, which is awesome. So the question of, would Tim Keenan make that much of a difference? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
And then the question of, would Jam Miller make that much of a difference? The question was answered at the end of the football game. The answer is yes, which Kevin Riley could do that, but Jam is he's a bit heavier, which is good.
Well, and he's a veteran. I mean, to come in and catch that last pass to seal it. I mean, that's your senior, hadn't played any ball this year, but came in and got the job done.
Yeah. And the physicality of this team, the physicality of both teams, Georgia and Alabama, is noticeable. So I'm excited to dial this one up on Monday, and I look at some of the things that Coach DeBoer talked about, and he said very distinctly, it's a step in the right direction. He's not giving. It's like we're not taking any of this for granted, and to have a 24-21 win, overturning a 33-game winning streak in a very hostile environment. Scoring 0 points in the second half.
That's mind blowing.
I'm with you. I cannot wait for this football team to put a whole football game together, which the defense definitely did the second half. I mean, they limited Georgia to 7 points. Kudos to Georgia's defense. They are some dogs, bro. They are. I've got nothing but respect. I know there's Georgia fans out there that absolutely hate Alabama fans. I'm not that guy. I know there's Alabama fans that hate Georgia fans, but
hey, I will say, in their defense, I'd hate Alabama too, because it's a team that you can't beat.
Yeah. Kirby is not in a good streak. I do know that Kalen DeBoer is 2-0 against Kirby, which feels good. But as we kind of think forward, here's the other thing that I love. The lady asked him, what's the identity of this team? He took a couple seconds to think about it, and he said, toughness, but we are not there. And thankfully, and I'm proud for Ryan Williams, who dropped a touchdown pass and then came back and caught a first down. And if you didn't get to see that while you were on the road,
I saw it. He got smacked,
and he got right up and said his first down, baby. He, really, Ryan, I can't speak for him, but I can speak to what I see. I think maybe the pressure is a bit much with the money that he's owed, the expectations. And so I hope that he can evolve and grow. He is a dynamic receiver. Obviously tonight, he missed the ball, but he had a crucial catch. He got tattooed. He held on to the football. He jumped up. He didn't quit. And so
playmakers make plays.
That's it. And Jeremy Bernard and Latsier Brooks, Isaiah Horton, even Cuevas making big plays. And my man, Proctor.
The best wide receiver we got is number 74.
Good gracious, that man ran.
I think Jim Miller's going to be out a few games after he got run over by his own guy.
Man.
I mean, Caden Proctor put a shoulder into Jam Miller. Poor Jam was just trying to block for him. I told Amber if he doesn't step his foot out of bounds, he's going on to the end zone.
He was close to it. That man is a zip code. He ain't joking, man. I love it. And you know what? I'll talk about this on Monday.
Line up in the backfield and get the ball. Hand it off to him. I don't care.
It'll probably be coming, but I got to say this. Nothing but absolute respect to the offensive line at Alabama. I've got to tell you, the one penalty they had, I think, was late third quarter or maybe early fourth quarter. One penalty for 5 yards. And
on that one, I said, my God, what nobody set yet. I don't know how you get a penalty on that.
Yeah. Well, the offensive line, I've been very harsh on them as I should be, but I think they turned the corner tonight as well, because that may be the best defensive line that we face all year. Arguably, maybe Tennessee, maybe a little bit better, but I think Alabama. I just think they did a great job up front. We need to run the ball more.
Continue to grow.
They will, and confidence does a lot. Does a lot. So, after we're done celebrating, I know Monday we're going to talk about Vanderbilt, and the only thing I want to see is retribution. But we can talk about that Monday. Glad you made it home safe. Glad you made it back on the podcast. Always great to have Austin Smash around. And I'm going to tell you this, man, with everybody watching, I am a huge fan of your music, dude. I got to tell you, man, some video you put out on Facebook the other day, and you said it was normally Amber's turn, but she's got laryngitis, so I'm going to rock this thing. And you started playing, and I have to tell you, Man, I admire you for being dedicated to your craft, and you're extremely talented. And I know that you let the Spirit of God sing right through you. So kudos to you, dude. I want you to know that.
Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you.
Appreciate that.
All right, your final thoughts before we get rid of this. We've been on for 44 minutes, and I think we're just sitting here excited, sort of shocked.
Yeah, Amber said, "How do you go to bed after that?" I was like, "I don't know."
Well, we're married. We got some ideas. Hey.
Well, I think she's already asleep, so that won't work out. Oh, she can't go to sleep either.
That's right. Well, I thought that she might have been the one that said, to you, how do you sleep after that? But all right, Brother Austin, your final thoughts, and then we'll wrap this sucker up.
My final thoughts are Roll Tide and 10-1, Kirby. Sorry.
Well, only Kirby's uncle is allowed to talk to Kirby like that.
Well,
and
I told Amber, I said, they thought that Kirby had a Nick Saban problem. I think it's a little deeper than that now.
Well, he has a resilient team over there, dude.
Yeah.
With them being down, 14-0 and then battling back. But thankfully, the Alabama defense and man, I hope Kane Womack is able to get some things. I hope he's able to get some things cleaned up, because 230 something yards rushing is just too much. But I guess it actually turned out to be 227 yards, which
it's not
means
bad
they lost.
Though. I think he ended up having like 130 passing. So I'm like, you know what? If they're not going to get it passing, they just put that effort towards the run game. So.
Indeed. But it was a great night. All right, Austin Dash. I am the Q Dawg, and I know we're going to say this. We're going to say Roll Tide, baby.
Roll Tide.
All right, we will see you on the next one. All right, everybody, that's it for instant reaction right here. Thanks to everybody watching, for those that commented. Alabama beats Georgia 24-21 in Athens, snaps a 33-game winning streak. Maybe that sort of makes up for a 23-game first game win streak that DeBoer broke. But hey, we are moving in the right direction. For Austin Dash, my name is Quincy Moran, a.k.a. the Q Dawg. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.
One message for you from your aunt. She will bust both of you in the head. Can y'all hear me?
Not rocket science,
I think you, like me, have a face for radio.
Can y'all hear me?
If we don't play with the players we got, next man up.
That's why it sucks.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
This kind of unprofessionalism does not need to be tolerated. I mean it.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
What the hell is going on here? Just all hang up.
Another episode of the BS Podcast.
Hang on.
Moran.
Hang on. There's all kinds of noise in my ear now.
Oh, jeez.
We need a little bit more professionalism.